What's up, everybody? Matt Gajewski here, back again with the Awesemo Fantasy channel, talking some NFL draft prospects ahead of the 2022 NFL draft. Before we get started, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so when this and all other content goes live. We are also brought to you today by Underdog Fantasy. And if you haven't heard of Underdog Fantasy, they have everything from best ball drafts, live drafts, and pick'em contests where you can make up to 10 extra entry fee. If you use the promo code Awesemo today, you are going to get a match deposit bonus up to $100. So make sure to check out Underdog Fantasy. Diving into today's prospect, we're continuing the wide receiver position with Western Michigan's Skyy Moore, a riser in the process. Skyy Moore, he stands 5'10", 195 pounds, and ran a 4.41 40-yard dash while jumping 35 inches in the vertical at the NFL Scouting Combine. For reference, he's a little bit shorter, but about 20 pounds heavier than Jahan Dotson. He's faster than Jahan Dotson. The only knock on him really is that he played at Western Michigan, and we'll get into maybe a couple of reasons why that is. Not to mention he's also younger than a Jahan Dotson. So for good reasons, Skyy Moore has been soaring up draft boards. When we look at Skyy Moore, he came out of Pennsylvania as a 3-star recruit. He was actually the number 217 ranked cornerback in 2019, made the transition to wide receiver immediately for Western Michigan, and had his best season this past year. He recorded 95 receptions, over 1,200 yards, nearly 1,300 yards and 10 scores on a 37% target share. And even more impressively, he did most of that out wide. Just a 34.5% slot rate for Skyy Moore. But this is a guy that was no stranger to production coming into this year. He had 51 receptions for 802 yards as a freshman. Last year in 2020, the MAC conference in Western Michigan played a limited season due to COVID-19. So he only had 25 receptions, but he was very productive in those games as well. 388 yards. That's an incredible yards per reception there. He was really able to maximize his talent in Tim Lester and Eric Evans' RPO-based scheme on offense. That's even more wild considering they passed the ball at a 41% clip each of the last 2 years. So Skyy Moore definitely made the most of his touches when they were given to him. And when we look at where he produced, this is a guy that not only dismantled the MAC, there's 100-yard games littered throughout his year inside that conference, but he also had 124 yards against Pittsburgh, a good defense in the ACC. He had over 100 yards against San Jose State, one of the best defenses in the Mountain West. This is a guy that has produced routinely against upper echelon competition in non-conference where the MAC has taken a step up in competition here. Skyy Moore's been able to answer all those questions. When we look at his efficiency, he is 5th in this class in yards per route run, which is a fantastic marker for him here. Some of the names above him are like Treylon Burks and Drake London, so he's among the most efficient receivers in this class. He also returned a few kicks in college too, so he does bring that special teams versatility, returned 3 kicks for 21 yards. He does have a history of ankle problems. We didn't see this a lot in college, but he had a broken ankle in 2016 in high school. Then he fractured the ankle in 2018. That actually required surgery, and perhaps those injuries are why he went under-recruited and ends up at Western Michigan. But he missed 2 games in each of the past 2 years due to injury as well, so this could be a concern for him. But overall, he has pretty solid comparisons, and he's a guy that has been mocked towards the end of the first round a lot recently. I think at the lowest you see him come off the board early day 2. Now, looking at the size again, 5'10", 195 with elite athleticism. For a guy who's 5'10", he actually has a fairly stocky build. When I ran the comparisons in my model, the player that compared to him the most was Golden Tate, who was known for having a sort of running back build at receiver, 200 pounds, but a little shorter, a player that was really good creating forced missed tackles. And we've seen that with Skyy Moore too. Some other comparisons here were Sterling Shepard, Christian Kirk, Santana Moss. It's kind of this elite slot receiver with the ability to flex outside when needed. And that's exactly what Skyy Moore did at Western Michigan. He even played most of his snaps out wide. So I see him as a slot plus receiver in the NFL with the ability to flex out wide when needed, like Golden Tate, Sterling Shepard, and Christian Kirk have all been able to. Overall, again, a lot of these receivers that are mocked late round 1 are going to have interest from teams like the Packers at 28, the Chiefs at 29 and 30, maybe even the Bills at 25, and then right away again in the second round, you do have teams that need receivers again. So Skyy Moore likely comes off the board fairly early here with some decent draft capital, especially when we've seen the contracts these players have been signing. Now, Let me know in the comment section where you see Skyy Moore going and at what pick. My name is Matt Gajewski on Twitter at @_Gajewski. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again next time.